Shout out to Sachs Realty for his interview with Peter Schiff. It was great to hear Peter's thoughts on the housing crash and how it compares to 2008. We've got some data from Fannie Mae. We have some data from RedFin. But why don't we start with Black Friday sales, folks? It looks like online sales for Black Friday are up 7.5% for a whopping $9.8 billion. Hard to believe, right? As we go into the end of the year, it does feel, I think, that the economy is slowing down, but the consumer is still spending. Don't know if you're following this, but it looks like the banking system is starting to show significant signs of cracking. There are some shadow banks in China that are now warning they can't pay the bills. They are severely insolvent. This, of course, is Wealth Management Company, again, out of China. Again, lots of lending on real estate. People bought second homes. It's their pension. They lost faith in it, and the system around it starts to crumble. So expect more pain in the Chinese real estate market because now, again, the exterior banks or shadow banks are starting to show significant signs. Why don't we talk about Sachs Realty and his interview with Peter Schiff? Peter Schiff obviously is a long time, I don't know, you want to call him a bear maybe? I think he generally leans that direction. He's obviously very pro-gold and anti-Bitcoin. He does get a lot of credit for calling the housing crash in '08. So to hear Peter talk about real estate in 2024 and why it is different than 2008 really should get your attention. If you are a crash bro and someone that is generally negative on the housing market, and you hear Peter Schiff say it's not going to happen, people are going to fight to stay in their homes, their debt is an asset, you're not paying attention. You simply want to hear what you want to hear, and you don't understand. Peter Schiff in the Sachs Realty interview, which was very well done by Sachs Realty. I actually don't know his name. I think it's Tom. If it's Tom, nice job, Tom. If I'm wrong, my apologies. I don't mean to slight. I just don't know the name. But again, Sachs Realty, nice job. Peter went on a 3 or 4 minute kind of discussion about why the mortgages today are assets, where last time were the liability. And then he went on to say people can stay in their house cheaper by living there instead of renting. It was all the stuff that we've talked about for quite a while on this channel. Folks, Peter Schiff, housing crash not coming. Let's get on to RedFin CEO Glenn Kelman. As you know, I talked about this about a month ago when Glenn said it can't get any worse at 4 million. It was 3.96. And I said, Glenn, you're wrong. We're going to 3.8 million, or down 5%. That has happened. Now Glenn is like, hey, it can't get any worse. And I agree. I think we have found the bottom. The housing market will always have natural transactions, death, divorce, all of that, cash buyers, people that have to buy. But it's going to take a while to come back. And that was something else that Glenn had to say. Let me get to it. The housing market can't get any lower. Sales slow down to last a long time. Now, Glenn is talking 2024, 2025. I'm here to tell you, I think it's 2027, 2028. I think by the end of 2028, we're going to be less than 4.5 million. This is existing home sales. So again, pretty interesting. Sellers have reduced motivation to sell for years. So we need to watch two metrics. The one that you and I can watch most closely is something called days on market. We're going to see days on market go up as inventory transactions stay flat. But as we look at the housing market at a higher level, there's something called turnover. What is the average turnover of housing? And usually it's about 1.8%. We're going to probably go to 1.2, maybe even 1.1, which means, roughly speaking, out of 100 homes, 2 of them are for sale in any given year. We're going to cut that basically in half, or at least by 40%. So turnover is going to be wildly lower. Fannie Mae, downturn in the housing market not ending anytime soon, even if a recession is avoided. Societe Generale, S&P 500 is going to go to all-time highs before a recession drags it lower. Logan from Housing Wire had a very, very interesting stat about housing. When you compare the housing price cuts today to price cuts of last year, something surprising happened. Remember last year, rates were at 7 and the market slowed down. This year, rates are at 8. Market slowed down. What happened to price cuts? I was surprised by this. Price cuts are down 4% this year, year on year. Now, how could that be? To me, it kind of feels like 8 is bad, but it's not it's not a shock, right? People are getting used to higher mortgage rates. But that is pretty wild. Something else I almost forgot to say, folks, I have done it. I have added 35 more seats to our Vegas event. I confirmed with the team in Vegas that they have hosted events up to 400. So we're going to do the ORAD event at 300. I want to make sure there's plenty of space. I want to make sure there's plenty of chance to network. I don't want everybody sitting so close together you're uncomfortable. So instead of doing 265, we're going to do 300. Folks, if you want to go, buy today. I made this change about 12 hours ago and we've sold 7 tickets already. And I didn't tell anybody except I think I sent out 1 email to my students. So if you want to go and you missed it last time, this is the absolute last. We're going to cap it at 300. I know we can go to 400, but we're not going there. So I put the link below. So make sure you buy it today so you can attend the event. Let's go back to this conversation about millennials because I did some bad math. Thank you guys for pointing this out. Remember we talked about yesterday when millennials need $500K a year to be happy. So I did some better math actually with a calculator instead of trying to do it in my head. That's $41,666 a month gross. Gross before taxes. If you assume a 35% tax bracket, that means you are bringing home $27,083 a month. Let me tell you this right now. If you take home 27 grand a month and you're not happy, that's on you. I believe you can get financially free making $4,000 or $5,000 a month. In fact, if you've ever played the cash flow game from Robert Kiyosaki, I got to tell you, if you ever play that game, I've played it hundreds of times. It is easier to retire financially free making less money. I know it's counterintuitive, but trust me, if you make $500,000 a year, you have a very expensive lifestyle. And if you think you need 500 grand a year to be happy, you're going to be unhappy a lot. It is wild to me that a generation thinks you need 500K a year to be happy. Pretty wild. Make sure I got everything I wanted to talk about. That's good. Oh, Mark Zandi. Mark Zandi's talking about price cuts or price drops coming. He thinks that, get this, prices might fall 3%. 3%. So if you are a crash bro, you can consider Mark Zandi with you. He's going to give you a 3% drop in 2024. So again, folks, I want to call out, give kudos to Sachs Realty for his interview with Peter Schiff. Peter Schiff is someone that I don't agree with a lot, but I appreciate his analysis, which I mean, hopefully speaks volumes, right? Because again, you don't have to agree with somebody, but if you appreciate their analysis, that is a good thing. So I appreciate what Peter does, what he puts out. And Peter was very clear on the Sachs Realty interview that a home crash is not coming. As I have said repeatedly, people will fight to stay in their homes. They will get roommates. They will turn them into rentals. The Fed broke the housing market. I don't know what else you need to hear. It is broken, broken, broken. If you are an investor, what we need to do is find the value add opportunities. We need to find subject to or whatever it is. Because again, there are opportunities, but it just takes work, guys. It takes work. So have a great day. Take care of yourself. Bye.